How's it going, everyone? Swanee and Cookie here with another Helldivers 2 video. Now, we just got a bit of brand new information that just dropped. Arrowhead posted this over on Reddit. They posted their road ahead for the next 60 days. They've addressed a bunch of player feedback and stuff. So in today's video, we're going to go over that for you guys and give our thoughts and opinions on all of it. So Cookie, why don't you go ahead and go over the brand new post for us?
Okay, so it reads, fellow Helldivers, I want to directly address the feedback you've raised about the Escalation of Freedom update. We spent the last week listening to feedback, reflecting about the path ahead for Helldivers 2, and how we want to continue developing the game. In short, we didn't hit our target with the latest update, some things we just didn't get right, and other more fundamental inconsistencies in our approach to game balance and game direction. All of that is on us, and we are going to own that. As many of you have pointed out, and we agree, what matters most now is action, not talk. To that end, here's what we intend to do in the upcoming updates. Our aim within the next 60 days. First, continue to re-examine our approach to balance. Our intention is that balance should be fun, not quote-unquote balanced for the sake of balance. Update how the fire damage mechanic works to tweak how the flamethrower serves as a close-range support weapon. In parentheses says a quick straight revert won't work as it would break other things. Rework gameplay to prevent excessive ragdolling. Rethink our design approach to primary weapons and create a plan for making combat more engaging. Reprioritize bug fixes so that the more immediate gameplay impacting bugs are prioritized. Improve game performance as frame rate is a focus. And rework chargers. Additionally, from a bigger picture perspective, we will be exploring creation of an opt-in beta test environment to improve our testing processes, and we consider this a high priority. Post regular player surveys to gather more insights and feedback from the community. Improve our process for patch/release notes, providing more context and reasoning behind the changes, and more blog posts and streams where we expand on these topics for those interested. We also want to thank you for your patience. We're grateful that so many of you provided constructive feedback and suggestions on the latest update. That was from Michael E., game director and Arrowhead Game Studios.
All right, so that's a lot to take in, and this all sounds good, exciting. I mean, you can tell that they've been listening to the feedback. This is what people have been saying on Reddit. This is what people have been bringing up on Discord and Twitter. I've seen YouTubers bring all this stuff up. It looks like they've hit most of the complaints and bullet points in this post. The problem is that, you know, they've kind of said this all before, many times, months ago. So it's like, I'm excited for this. If they actually follow this list, then I feel like the game is going in a right direction, and this could make the game a lot better. But there's only so many things they can say, and so many times they can say it before I'm like, okay, like I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I feel like we're in a kind of talk is cheap situation here where, like, okay, that's nice and all. I don't know if I believe you to actually do it to some extent. And also, some of it sounds really good, and some of it is new sounding really good, like reworking chargers. I don't remember hearing about them reworking chargers before, so that's cool, because that's a problem in the game that I didn't think they were going to try to address. Excessive ragdolling is also something I don't think they've talked about changing much, so it's kind of nice to see that they are working on that. But then there's, and also the opt-in beta test environment is a really good idea that I don't know why they didn't start on a long time ago. Then there's stuff like their first bullet point in this post, which I honestly don't know what it means. It says, continue to re-examine our approach to balance. They want it to be fun. It shouldn't be balanced for the sake of balance. I'm guessing they're talking about how they nerf things too much, but that's something they've said multiple times then. So that means nothing. Yeah, their approach to balance needs extreme re-examination, to be honest, but that's just a weird statement overall for me. And I don't know, I think for me in general, I'm kind of with you on talk. Seems kind of cheap at this point. I got to see action, and a lot of this stuff should have been fixed months ago. So I guess this is a good thing, but I don't feel very positive moving forward at the moment. Anyway, it doesn't change a lot for me, I guess.
I mean, the whole reason that the old CEO stepped down to begin with was because he said he wanted to have a more hands-on approach, and he wanted to fix all these balancing issues. And since that's happened, here we are again with pretty much the same statement as before. It's like, oh, we're going to focus on balancing. Well, that's what you said last time. But it is nice to see that they are mentioning the chargers and the ragdolling and stuff, because I've seen a lot of memes on Reddit the past week or so about everyone complaining about the ragdolling, and that's one of the biggest turnoffs for me, especially on like Helldive and Super Helldive, especially now with like the robots and the Impaler. It feels like I'm ragdolled, and then before I can even get back up, I'm hit with another rocket, and I'm ragdolled again, and then I'm hit with another rocket, and I'm ragdolled again. Feels like I'm spending more time on the ground than I am actually fighting, and it's super annoying. And you can get caught in like an endless loop with the Impaler, and it's so not fun. Like, you get hit with one of its tentacles, and then before you can stand back up, there's another tentacle hitting you, but you're also getting tackled by chargers and swarmed by bugs at the same time, and it's like, what am I supposed to do here? So it's good that they're actually listening to all those complaints, and they're taking a step back, and they're like, okay, maybe we need to change the way that this works. Especially with the chargers. A lot of people have pointed out that the chargers are the reasons we've gotten so many nerfs. Because of the chargers, they nerfed the railgun, and because of the chargers, they nerfed the arc thrower, and they nerfed the flamethrower, and they nerf everything because of the damn chargers. So something needs to be done against the chargers. I'm fine if they send like 10 to 20 chargers at us, but I need something that can kill them reliably.
I don't know why they love the Chargers as much as they do. It's kind of odd. So yeah, seeing them even addressing the idea of reworking the Chargers is the most exciting thing about this post to me. But a lot of this is stuff they've already said and have already done to some extent, and really aren't the things that people are that upset about. Like more blog posts and streams, more explanations behind the patch notes. They've already done that stuff, and people seem satisfied with... I mean, they don't necessarily seem satisfied with their explanations, but they are satisfied with the fact that they're doing that and giving and, you know, communicating. That hasn't really been the big issue. And I don't know what I could have gotten from this post or hope from this post that would have made me feel significantly better. But, you know, this is... They already kind of screwed up, and I guess this is as good as they can do at this point, is to put out a post like this. But they are really struggling to put into the game what the general fan base wants to do, or wants them to do. And they don't seem to understand why the general fan base is upset with them still. It doesn't seem like that has still gotten through to them entirely.
I saw that one meme that's been going around lately where it's like what the players want versus what the devs want, and it's got that meme of like the guy from Doom and he's just slaughtering everything versus what the devs want, and it's everyone like cowering in fear, huddled up together. And I think that summarizes it perfectly. It's like when I play on Helldive, I want to just go around and kill everything. I love that there's so many enemies. Like when me and you played Super Helldive the other day and we were facing the bots, we fought the entire time. It was non-stop for like 40 minutes. The problem was that they don't give us enough time, and there's just so many enemies we couldn't run around and collect all the samples and do any of that stuff because we don't have enough ammo and we don't have enough like stratagems. So we're sitting there hiding behind rocks waiting for our stratagems to cool down, and we're waiting for resupplies to cool down so we can actually have ammo and stims. Like, I only spawn in with like 4 stims, unless I'm wearing the medic armor, and I burn through those 4 stims like immediately on Super Helldive, and then I'm just sitting there hiding until it's safe. So I love the fact that there's more enemies. It's just I want more ways to deal with these enemies.
Yeah, and I just like they seem like they'd really fixed everything with the June update that was significantly buffing everything on our side. It's such a strange thing that they did what they did when it came to the update we just got. And, you know, like I said, this is as much as they can really do at this point. They already kind of screwed up. So I appreciate it. It is good that they put this out and continue to communicate. You don't want to just stop communicating because you screwed up, but it doesn't fix anything yet. We'll see what happens. And I know they say a quick straight revert won't work with the fire damage, but that's what people wanted, you know. And I can understand why that wouldn't work. Like, it would probably screw up things the way they set it up. But the people that would want that kind of stuff, that's what they would have hoped from something like this, including myself, and that's obviously just not going to happen. So it more or less kind of says, hey, months down the road, this game will be what you want it to be, but they said that months ago too. So that's the big issue for me.
Well, my big question now is this is their goal for the next 60 days. So if this is their plan for the next 60 days and it takes us into October, are they, like, is this going to affect the Illuminate? Are they going to be delayed? Are war bonds going to be delayed? Are future big updates and patches going to be reworked and delayed? Like, I'm just curious as to, are all these changes going to take away from what was already planned?
It's hard to tell. I mean, we don't know how much has already been delayed because of them trying to make the game work better over the past couple of months. There's been a lot of that kind of, I wonder if the Illuminate was supposed to come out in June or way earlier than this, but because of all the things they had to fix, it didn't happen. I have no idea. I don't know what they're, and they haven't put out a roadmap, and that's probably on purpose to go along with their, you know, kind of D&D format of seeing what happens in their big game map. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't fill me with a ton of hope at this point, but I hope that they do most of this stuff, because this is most of the stuff that people want. It's just 60 days to fix chargers. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Just I like 60 days is a long time, and if this is what happens in the next 60 days, that's great. That's a long time to. And you're right, if we're not getting anything else, the game's in a lot of trouble again. I mean, they've already lost a lot of players. They're going to have to do more than just this in the next 60 days to keep them.
Yeah, well, for me, this comes at a good time. Like, if they're going to take the next 60 days to do all this, there's a bunch of new games coming out that I'm going to be playing. So I can, you know, play Black Myth Wukong or Star Wars Outlaws or, I mean,
yeah.
you name it.
It might be good for us, but it's not good for Arrowhead.
No, it's not good for Arrowhead.
Play other games.
But it comes at a perfect time for me.
Well, that's... I don't know.
Just me as a gamer, like... You know, if they're gonna take a little break from the action, this is a good time to do it. But I think that open test beta thing, like if they let the community actually test out these patches before they go live, there's a bunch of other games that do that. I know Fallout 76 does that, and I used to play the hell out of that. And that helps them catch bugs and glitches and balancing before they push it out to everybody. So that would be huge if they finally roll that out. And then the improved frame rate performance, that's another big one. I noticed that with the addition of Super Helldive, there are so many bugs on your screen at once that it kind of bogs down your game. And I mean, let's be honest, like with all the explosions and grenades and gunfire and laser beams and everything on your screen at once, it can bog down computers. Like, I have a 3090 graphics card, and I can barely run this game sometimes. It's just choppy, and especially if I have a different window brought up, like I have two monitors. If I'm looking at anything on my second monitor, my frame rate goes to just complete ass. So there's been complaints for a long time about performance stuff, and there's still crashes. Like, my whole PC will crash sometimes because of this game. And I've seen people still crash all the time on PlayStation. So I'm glad that they're focusing on frame rate stuff, because they said in the past that they didn't care about performance stuff. They wanted the game to be fun and didn't care about, you know, the performance. So I'm glad that they brought this up, because that's been an issue for a long time. And it's only been getting worse in these bigger game modes and these higher difficulties where they add more and more things on your screen.
Yeah, so I think in general, it's good to see, you know, it's good to communicate. I'm never going to say that they shouldn't have put this post out there or anything. I'm just not filled with hope from it, I guess. And 60 days is a long time, and I do hope they also add a little bit more content that maybe they've been sitting on during those 60 days. But we will see. It's a lot of interesting changes, and they could be good. So that is going to do it for our video today, guys. If you like this video, please let us know by smashing the like button. And please let us know what you guys think about this post in the comments down below. Any and everything is welcome. And subscribe if you guys have not done so already. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any future Helldivers 2 content. And we will talk to you guys in the next video. So goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.